5 now? Yay! Well, hi. Thank you everyone for being here. We're going to do a little bit of True Crime Tuesday first. I really love true crime. It's like the majority of what I listen to on a constant basis. Yeah, so today I'm going to be talking about the Broken Arrow murders, and then we're going to hop back into Dragon Age. So, yeah. Alright, so the Broken Arrow murders are about these two brothers, the Beever brothers. They quite literally murdered almost everyone in their family overnight for practically no reason. It's kind of like really fucking weird. Alright, I have this which brought it up for me, and then the actual details. The people that were killed were the father, the mother, the third youngest son, or the third oldest son, and then oh god, no, it was almost everyone was killed. Shit. So 5 out of 7 people were killed. We have the father, Dave Beever, April Beever, the mother, Daniel Beever, the first brother, Christopher Beever, 7, the second brother, Victoria Beever, the first sister, the second sister, who was 13, was stab wounds to the stomach and arms, injured by a slit throat. And then the youngest daughter, which was 2, was left completely unarmed. Well, yeah, kids, don't you like violence? I can stick some nails in my eyelids if we want to talk about that. It's true crime. There are people who do true crime on here all the time, but most of them react to videos about, like, interrogation or, JCS videos or like that chapter, whereas I'd rather actually just read the information straight up from where it came from. Turn that down a little bit more. Random. Alright, so on the night of July 22nd, 2015, 5 members of the Beever family were murdered in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. 2 members of the family, a 2-year-old girl and a 13-year-old girl, survived. The later of whom identified 2 of her brothers, Robert Beever, 18, and Michael Beever, 16, as the assailants. The brothers were subsequently arrested and charged with 5 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of assault and battery with intent to murder. Bonjour, damer! Alright, night of July 22nd, 2015, Michael Beever, 15, oh wait, that said 16 on the other one, and his brother Robert Beever, 18, murdered their parents, sister, 2 brothers, and attempted to kill another sister, Crystal Beever, 13, who had gone to Robert and Michael's room. Michael distracted her with his computer while Robert slit his sister's throat. Crystal fought back but was stabbed multiple times as she ran out of the house. Man, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, GoDaddy. I don't care. Stop talking over me. Well, I mean, I'd hope the 7-year-old kid didn't kill himself, because that'd be weird. The brothers then turned their attention on the younger siblings who had hidden in the bed. Ah, thank you so much for Fragilities? Fragilities.
Okay.
I shouldn't have read this on Facebook. Whatever. Either way. Thank you so much for following. I can't read anything, so give me a while. I will try that name again after it bothers me. Michael distracted his sister on the computer while Robert slit his sister's throat. Crystal fought back but was stabbed multiple times as she ran out of the house. She was dragged back inside by one brother while the other one stabbed their mom, April Beever, 44. She was stabbed 48 times. That is a lot of anger. The brothers then turned their attention to their younger sibling who had hidden in the bathroom. Michael tricked the sibling into opening the door. He told them he was going to be killed if they didn't open it. What? Once they opened the door, they were both stabbed to death. Christopher, 7, endured 21 stab wounds, and Victoria, 5, endured 23. Why did they stab the 5-year-old 2 more times? Their next victim would be younger brother Daniel, 12. Daniel had managed to call 911, hide inside his father's office. Michael tricked him into opening the door too. Once he had opened the door, Michael told Robert, "He's all yours." Daniel was on the phone with the police still. Michael grabbed the phone from him and smashed it while Robert stabbed his younger brother 21 times. That is a lot of stabbing for 2 kids, let's be honest. Like, the mom was stabbed 28 times. The one brother was stabbed 21 times. The sister was stabbed 23 times. The younger brother was stabbed 21 times. And Robert stabbed him 28 times, if I read a little bit ahead. That's a lot of stabbing. Not the Christopher. Nah, definitely stabbed the Christopher first. Sorry. Michael grabbed the phone from him and smashed it. That's right. Booty. Booty is better than murder. Hi, Cruddy. Thank you. Thank you for being here. We're talking about a little bit of true crime. It's the Broken Arrow murders, and then we're going to get into the Dragon Age. Commenced his brother, stabbed him 21 times. David Beaver had come out of his room, possibly due to the commotion going on. Wait. So the dad comes out dead ass last, and he only gets stabbed 28 times? How bad did they hate their mother to stab her 48 times? They murder all the members of their family except for Crystal and her younger sister, who was 2 years old at the time and slept through the attack. The brothers had planned to kill their family quietly and go on a cross-country killing spree. Robert and Michael were both arrested and charged with 5 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of aggravated assault and battery with a deadly weapon. That is not the same thing it had on the Wikipedia. And both were charged. Robert Beaver had pled guilty on all charges. He was sentenced to life without parole for each of the 5 murder counts and received an additional life sentence. For the assault charge, Michael received 5 murder counts and received an additional life sentence for the assault charge. Michael received consecutive life sentences for each murder count and 28 years for the assault charge with the possibility of parole. I'm surprised by that. After 85% of the time is served. Wow. Okay, well, he's never getting out, really. Edits. Both sisters that survived Crystal and her younger sister were adopted. The dog was adopted, too. The house they lived in was burnt down after being empty for 2 years and is now a park/memorial. During Michael's trial, Robert's hands had tattooed across his knuckles, reading 5 on one hand and LWOP times 5 on his other, life without parole. Oh, he's such a hard ass, isn't he? It's a nice house, too. Shit. It's a cute little family. Dude, for real, like, what was even the point of any of it? I remember, wasn't it like the younger brother who... Yeah, the younger brother was like convinced the entire time to go along with it. Sorry, I missed what y'all were saying. Love true crime. My grandma got me into that shit back in the day. I was forced to watch true crime and Lifetime movie. Didn't we all see a little bit of Murder, She Wrote? We can't help it, okay? Also, apparently a lot of... posture check. I'm sorry. I should use a posture check with my shell-shaped spine. Like one of those fucking... God, what are those? The sea snails or whatever the fuck they are. Oh god, yeah, Murder, She Wrote was hilarious. It was horrible, but yeah. Thank you for the lyric. Also in a serial killer. Oh, dude, very much into serial killers. Like, okay, the thing that got me really into true crime when I was a kid, I was in 3rd grade, and I was at the library, and there was a kid that was there that I really didn't like, and I had to hide in a fucking aisle to get away from him. And while I'm sitting there, there's like, it's the true crime aisle, and I saw something that just said WM3, and I was like, WM3? And my stupid brain, because I'm like slightly dyslexic, thought World War III, because my brain was like, that's not 2 W's. So I pick it up, and it's the West Memphis 3, and I ended up sitting there reading the entire book. This kid even came and fucked with me, and I was like, I don't care about you anymore. But like, I sat there and read the entire book, and then I checked it out and went home and read it again, and I showed it to my mom, and she like snatched it from me. She was like, no, you're not reading this. But yeah, so like, after that, it's just a weird obsession. There's actually a study that says that people who are obsessed with true crime, it's kind of like a way for your brain to deal with the anxiety of the possibility of those kind of things happening to you, so that you can get it out of your system and you won't feel so anxious, so that your brain is like, okay, if this ever happened to me, it would play out like this, and I would do this differently than this person because they died and I would survive. It's kind of a cool... I gotta read that study on here too. I read a lot of stupid science shit. I read a lot of dumb shit. Aw, dude, isn't everyone's granny either, like, super nice or just super surly? Mine's surly. Details, around 11 p.m. on July 22nd, police were alerted to 709 Magnolia Court by a 911 phone call made by 12-year-old Daniel Beever, who stated his brother was attacking the family. Screaming, commotion, and a male voice were heard in the background before the line went dead. Dispatchers tracked the address by searching the number. After a failed attempt to call David Beever, the father, they dispatched officers to the scene. When the first responding officers arrived, they saw blood around the porch of the house. Around the porch? Thought everyone died in the house. They knocked on the door, heard a faint voice calling for help, and forced their way into the house, where they immediately found a 13-year-old Crystal Beever bleeding from multiple stab wounds. After pulling her out of the home, the officers discovered Daniel Beever and the rest of the victims, who were all dead. It was believed that one of the brothers responsible for the killing lured out the victims by pretending he was under attack. Crystal Beever survived the killings, but she was critically injured from her wounds. She identified two of her brothers as the assailants in the familicide. That's not the proper word for that. I happen to know for a fact familicide's not the accurate word. Saying that they lured her into a bedroom before slitting her throat and stabbing her in the stomach and arms. Why the arms? She underwent surgery at a nearby hospital and was listed as being in serious but stable condition. The girl was initially reported to be the 911 caller. A 2-year-old girl, Autumn Beever, was also found alive and unharmed inside the home. Oh, they didn't have the fucking balls to kill a baby, but they could kill their entire family. Their surviving children were put in state custody. The parents, as well as 3 children, were all stabbed to death. Knives, hatchets, and other bladed weapons were found at the scene. Oh, yeah, because these were the ones who, like, ordered a whole bunch of weapons to their house beforehand. They had planned this murdering spree. At least they left the baby. I mean, at least they left the baby. I'm not complaining that they didn't kill the baby. I'm just mocking them for not having the balls to kill the baby, but they had the balls to kill their entire family. Like, I know that doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. I know that's like a really bad take. But either way, these kids had ordered a whole bunch of, like, bulletproof vests and, like, knives and hatchets and swords and stuff on their father's account. And they knew that they had to kill their family before all that stuff showed up, because they wanted to go on a cross-country killing spree. Which, again, going on a cross-country killing spree with a bunch of swords and knives sounds really fucking stupid when you could have ordered guns. But that would have required a background check, and I bet they tried that. Along with protective gear. Yep, see, hadn't even gotten to that part. Knives, hatchets, and other bladed weapons were found at the scene, along with protective gear. Law enforcement officials claimed at least one of the weapons found were used in the killings. 5 people was killed in the familicide. That's not the word for it. Another person was injured. A medical examiner determined that the common cause of death was multiple sharp force injuries. Autopsy revealed that the victims died between the late hours of July 22nd and the early hours of July 23rd. Well, yeah, the fucking call literally came in at 11:30. Would it take them like half an hour to get there? Fucking cops. See, okay, that's kind of where I'm going. If you're going to put yourself in a situation where you're going to kill your entire family, I don't go on Halloween rules where you leave the baby. I mean, seriously, do you want to be chasing around fucking Jodie, what's her face? Not Jodie Foster. Miss Scream Queen. God damn it. The girl from Halloween, and I never fucking remember the mom from Freaky Friday. What the fuck's her name? My brain's only thinking of Jodie Foster and Lindsay Lohan, and neither of those are right. Motives in the background of background of suspects of the aspects. Neighbors said the parents homeschooled their children and kept a close eye on them, restricting them from. Oh, thank you, Jamie Lee Curtis. Thank you, Jamie Lee Curtis. You're a beast. I don't know, Jodie Foster, Jamie Lee Curtis. Were they in a movie or something together, and that's why I got them mixed up? Either way, thank you so much for the follow, Shibby. The family's lifestyle was reported to be so inconspicuous that some neighbors found out the full names of the entire family for the first time when the medical examiner released them. Well, fucking, I don't want my neighbors to know my full name. Fuck you guys. Neighbors also noted the strange and unsettling behaviors of Robert and Michael Beever. Defense. Okay, what if the family was actually kind of weirdly abusive or like obsessive? Like, if anyone has caught that one show on TLC where that white creepy crypt keeper dad and his wife keep all their kids at home and homeschool them and don't let them, like, they don't even let them listen to rock and roll and country. They have to listen to only, like, Christian. Like, it's, what if they were like that, and you over-repress your kids, and you come out with some really fucked up children? Or just really, really broken kids. I mean, they're both old white women. At least Jamie Lee Curtis is funny, though. Jamie Lee Curtis is a beast. Like, quite literally, a beast of a woman. She is amazing. Defense attorney has stated that David Beever was physically and verbally abusive towards his children. Okay, just called it out. According to the Crystal Beaver's testimony, Robert Beaver claimed that both of his parents were hateful and abusive to him and all of his siblings. He said his parents would often talk about people they hated and refer to the biblical apocalypse as a retribution thing for everything they hated about the world. I bet. Exactly. You don't get this kind of shit from peaceful... Okay. That's not always accurate. Sometimes you can be the best parents and you over-babied your kid to the point that they are now so entitled that they think that they could take a life to get what they want because they don't want to do stuff. I have multiple examples of that I will talk about that either on a Thursday or another Tuesday Crime Time, because holy shit, there's a case of this grown-ass man from Louisiana who was in college for 11 fucking years and decided to murder his elderly parents to try to get their life insurance money because his ass didn't want to get a job. That is all it was. Either way, but I'll talk about him another time. Robert Beaver confessed to committing the famicide. I swear to God, I'm about to look up the real word. What is the term for murdering family? Eventualicide. Okay. Yeah. Famicide is not the actual, like, Latin word, and that bugs the shit out of me. Fucking Bible thumpers, bro, for real. Like, I feel horrible for any kid that was raised in, like, an overly religious household, because I have never seen it go well for anyone. Quite literally. Like, yeah, you might turn out to be a good person, but you came out with a lot of trauma and a lot of really weird things about you that you don't understand about the world because your parents didn't prepare you for the world. But, like, I don't like religion as a whole, so don't let me keep anti-Bible thumping at you. He later confessed... Okay, he claimed that his and his brothers planned the act for some time and intended to commit a shooting spree outside the family, hoping it would rival and even outdo the 1999 Columbine High School Massacre, which didn't actually kill that many people. Especially if you look at, like, the Colorado shooting in the theater, he killed way more people. I know it's bad to compare killers, but whatever. He later confessed that he and his brother planned to dismember the bodies of their family, place them in storage bins, and hide them in the attic of their home. Well, that's a great idea. And what happens when they rot and start stinking up the whole house? He also stated that they planned to steal the family car, shoot and kill 5 random people each at multiple locations, and eventually achieve a body count of at least 50 people. Wow, you little fucking creeps. I know, that's a lot of forethought. That is a lot of planning on their fucking ends. Like, that's some creepy shit from them. But again, how did they end up being this weird is my question. I'm way more curious about how these people end up being this way. An officer who interviewed Robert Beaver stated that Beaver admired several serial killers, hoping to strike in locations outside of Oklahoma, and wanted to achieve a body count of up to 500 people or more. Are they going to talk about the convincing of the younger brother at all? Because that was a really interesting aspect that I saw in a Stephanie Harlow video. And not the smart way to get away with any of this. That's my thing. This is a lot of forethought from 2 teenagers who aren't actually thinking about the ramifications, but only the planning of how to do. The 2 suspects fled the scene through the back door of the house when police arrived and headed to the wooded area outside the property. They were apprehended quickly with the use of a K-9 unit and arrested without incident. The suspects were identified as 18-year-old Robert Beaver and the oldest son of David and April Beaver, and his 16-year-old brother Michael Beaver. Robert Beaver was armed with a knife at the time of his arrest. One of the Beavers, spontaneously uttered that plans for the killing were stored on a flash drive inside the home. Wow, you guys are real dumb. BTK killer dumb. This flash drive was later retrieved by police when they searched the home for a second time. They also recovered computer equipment and video surveillance cameras, which they believe recorded the family side as they were located near where three of the victims' bodies were found. It was later determined that the brothers planned to make 2 videos, one depicting the bodies of their family that would be shown to investigators and prosecutors, the other without the bodies that could be posted online. Authorities have called the killings the worst single criminal event in Broken Arrow history. Wow. The brothers were charged with 5 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of assault and battery with intent to kill. On July 25th, authorities announced that Michael Beever would be charged as an adult. The 16-year-old. Thought he was 15. A conviction on first-degree murder carries a punishment of life imprisonment or death penalty. However, the Tulsa County District Attorney stated that Michael Beever would be exempt from the death sentence since he was under the age of 18 at the time of the famicide. Beever attorney argued against the constitutionality of the decision to try Beever as an adult. Why would you constantly keep referring to him as Beever considering they're both Beavers? Literally. Oh my god, yeah, dude, this shit is like crazy. It's literally 2 teenage brothers that murdered their entire family, save for like a sister they tried to kill and a baby they never even tried to kill. Threw their whole ass lives away. Threw their whole family's lives away. Didn't give none of them a fucking chance. And you know what? I bet Michael, the younger brother, because I remember he was literally convinced by the older brother and was doing this mostly to impress him. He's going to be sitting there at some point as an adult and it's going to hit him. He stole his entire family away from the world and stole himself away from the world because his older brother is a fucking idiot. He also tried to argue that the Beavers should be rehabilitated instead of imprisoned if he was physically and emotionally abused at home, though no evidence indicated any abuse occurred at the Beaver home. Investigators looked to a shipment of boxes containing a total of 3,000 rounds of ammunition. That's expensive, boys. Damn. No wonder he had to kill your dad, or else he was going to kill you when he found out. You got ammunition for guns you didn't even get. Believed to have been delivered on July 23rd. They also began investigating social media accounts belonging to Robert Beever. On July 6, 2016, it was reported that Robert Beever... Oh yeah, this just happened like 4 or 5 years ago, guys. Like just 5 years ago as of last month. It was reported that Robert Beever had attempted suicide by hanging with a bedsheet. Tulsa County Sheriff's Office spokeswoman Casey Rubuck said that the suicide attempt occurred earlier that year on June 17th. Was discovered by a detention officer during a routine security check. Medical staff cut him down and checked him, determining he was uninjured. He couldn't even kill himself right. He was then moved to suicide watch, like I give a shit. Okay, I do give a shit because suicide watch sucks. In mid-February 2017, Broken Arrow City Council announced a plan to raise money through the Tulsa County Foundation for the acquisition of the Beever family home. They hope that enough money can be raised to purchase the house from the Beavers' mortgage holder and lending company, its current owner. If enough funds are raised, the home was planned to be torn down and in its place create a memorial park and garden. The Beever Family First Responders Memorial Park. First Responders Memorial Park? Why not just the family's park? The house was destroyed in a fire on March 18, 2027. Yeah, I bet. Fucking... Hey, thank you for being here. I do appreciate you stopping by. I know you can't actually see anything, but I know it's hard. And happy birthday. I do hope you have a good birthday. And I love you. In mid-February 2017, Broken Arrow City Council, the house was destroyed in the fire on March 18, 2017. I wonder who set the fire. That's a good question. I bet the firefighters started the fire and put it out just so they could go ahead and put it in. On March 27, 2019, Reflection Park was dedicated to an official ceremony. The path meanders through a knoll of grass where the Beaver house once stood. The brothers were arraigned on court on August 3rd. They pleaded not guilty to the charges against them. A preliminary hearing was set for October 28th. The date was later changed to October 9th and later January 22nd, 2016, and was changed again to February 23rd, 2016. On August 5th, Tulsa County Judge Bill Mussman ruled that the documents concerning the case be made public. They were released the next day, redacted to protect the victims' identities and sensitive information. Robert Beever, but you put the address at the top of the fucking Wikipedia. Okay. Robert Beever eventually pleaded guilty to all counts and was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Michael Beaver's trial began on April 16th, 2018. Literally 3 years later, god damn. What happened to the right to a speedy and fair trial? And on August 9th, 2018, he was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole. Robert is currently housed in the Joseph Hart Correctional Center, and Michael is in the Lexington Correctional Center. At least they're not held together, which is good. But yeah, this thing has like a ton of annotations to it. But yeah, that is the Broken Arrow murders. I would do react to someone else talking about it, but I kind of feel bad about just watching someone else's content and sitting here like, oh my god, that's what I said right there. You remember when I read that? So I'd rather just read it. But anyway, let me throw... No, I'm not going to do the 60-second ad break. But... yeah, okay. Well, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for listening to my true crime. I think that's actually the most viewers I've had. So if you guys actually like the true crime, I will do a ton of true crime. I know so much about a lot of stupid true crime shit. But besides that, make sure to check out all of my social medias. Fuck me. I can't even see myself. Make sure to check out all of my social medias. Please make sure to follow my Twitter. I'm posting more on there. Please make sure to go check out my Etsy and my Onlyfans. I'm down to 1 order, so I'm about to have all my customs open. And yeah, I'm doing videos all week on my Onlyfans, so awesome. And go over to Dahmer's stream. Are you live right now, Dom? There you are. Alright, we're rating Dom. Have a good night, and I'll be over in your stream here in a second. Closer.